Okay, so we're starting to repair Grandpa's fender here. It has this pinstriping is all this color. I've laid one little piece of 16th inch fine line on here to try and cover that up. I'm trying. This may not be the smartest way to do it, but you know, I'm learning, so I'm trying to see what's possible and what isn't. I'm trying to save this logo and this pinstripe, which were laid on after the clear was on here. There's no clear over any of this stuff. That's how most of this pinstriping stuff is, unless you have a painter come in and clear over it. So it's just on the surface, and it can be fragile, and it can come right off. You can't sand it, you can't do anything to it. And it also makes it harder to buff the bike. But anyway, so my goal is to save this logo, to save the pinstripe, still manage to repair this. And there's scratches and nicks all over the front. And I thought, well, I'll be able to blend it up top. But then I looked on the back, and there's quite a bit back here. It's pretty rough, just from rocks getting kicked around. And then down here, and the same thing on the side. So I'm just gonna respray everything from the mounts up. I'll just scuff all this, and shouldn't take much sanding because that's not rough. It's just nicked up a little bit. I'll hit that with some 600 or 800. And then so everything blacks and get painted except these little mounts. But the trick is, you know, this is all done by hand. It's really straight actually, but it's not perfectly straight, and it's not perfectly consistent width. So I'm trying to make it look like it may actually be a little smoother when I'm done with it, because I'm going right up to it here. But it's gonna be tricky, because I know that if you see any waviness in it, I'm gonna get the blame for it, not the guy who put the pinstripe on, because nobody was looking at it before. Now they're gonna look at it. So anyway, this part here, I'm probably gonna remove, because there's no way to repair around this. So I'm just gonna see what I can do with this thing, and hopefully it turns out. My backup plan is, if I screw this thing up and it needs to be re-pinstriped, that my buddy Jason at Sick Customs, he's an incredible pinstriper. He'll bail me out. So anyway, I'm gonna try this, and like I said, my goal is to save the red and this, and then once I get the black sprayed in base, then I'm going to remove the tape, and I'm gonna clear the whole thing. So this will all be buried in clear, and it'll actually, my goal is to make it look better than the pinstriping that's on the bike now, and to make this fender look better than when it was brand new with the brand new pinstriping on it. So without making it look, you know, different from the bike. If you really look at this fender, you'll know, like, okay, that looks a little better. It's got a better shine over the pinstriping. So, but anyway, we'll see. So I'm figuring it out. I don't know what I'm doing, so I've only painted a couple bikes, so this is part of the process. Anyway, over and out. Sounds good. Okay, so we've got everything taped off. Looks pretty good. This logo is pretty tricky, but I use this thing to really see close. Hopefully it works. So the only thing I'm concerned about is where the tape overlies, then it gets underneath there. But these edges on this aren't real sharp anyway, just because, you know, they're painted on with a brush. Even though there's a decal or a mask, it was masked off, the edges really aren't that clean like you would normally see. So, but all right, now I'm just taking this off with a little bit of lacquer thinner, and it seems to be coming off just gently. So this paint actually has some metal flake in it, or some pearl. Where he signed his name. This guy's good. This guy's out of Sturgis, from what I understand, but he does all their bikes up there. And I mean, this is super good work. I hate to take his name off of here, but I just know I can preserve it. So anyway, that's where we're at with this. I'll take this off. I'll probably cover this while I repair this area, just so I don't get anything in. You know, I'll probably put some masking tape around the rest of this so I don't get anything else in here, and then I'll go about trying to figure out how I'm going to sand and scuff this stuff. So that's where I'm at right now. Okay, I'm back on this fender. I'm trying to repair this chip. It's got some rust in it. You look at it, it's got, you can see like down here, what I'm trying to do is just trying to sand until I don't see any of that rust anymore. And then, I'm not a body guy, but my best guess is, you know, you can put filler right over bare metal body. That's a big argument, I know. I've done it both ways. I've epoxy primed it, and then I've put filler right over the metal. Both have worked. So that's 180 scratch there. So I'm thinking I just go over it just with a little bit of filler, smooth it, and then go over it again with a little bit of some glaze, and see how smooth it gets, and maybe shoot with a little bit of primer, and then just try to sand down the rest of the stuff, you know, and using the clear, and then go at it. So I don't know, we'll see what it does, but I just want to get rid of this rust. Hopefully I don't have to go very far. Okay, so we 180'd it, and then I put the body filler on it, and then now we've got a little bit of, I went over it with some glazing putty, sand it down a little bit, soften this edge up with some Scotch-Brite, just get that so that doesn't have some kind of weird shape to it. And then you can really see all the nicks in it, you know, that's just in the clear. So I'm gonna soft edge this across here, and I'm gonna spray it with just a couple of coats of some filler primer and some polyester primer, and just to cover it. I'm gonna sand that, and then we should be able to go from there. So that's it. Okay, we're in the booth here. Not that really booth's necessary at this point, but got it taped off in my version of a soft edge, so you can get that hard edge on the primer. The trick is that pinstripe is so close right here, so I'm just gonna give it a couple light coats of primer and then sand it smooth, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so I got I had like a light coat and then a full coat of the primer on there, and you can just see across there a little coloration difference. So I wanted to seal that off so I didn't see that in the paint. And when I do these soft edges, I don't know if anybody else does this or if you even should do it, but I'll do a coat and then I'll go and I'll just pull up just a little bit to get a little bit of an easier transition between the layers of primer. I'll do that when I'm also when I'm doing that for paint, touching up an area or something like that too. And then, anyway, I just think it gives it a little easier transition.